when it gets to the driveway. So I was like, stop, and then she like 2 or 3 times, and then I told her to stop, and then we went in the house.
But he was still doing it.
And so you said, but Jasmine was still doing it?
And it was
Stop.
Stop.
No,
Excuse me.
keep doing it.
Who's talking?
Me.
Really? Were you talking just now?
Yes.
Were you talking just now? Was he talking?
Me.
Who should have been talking? Excuse me. Who should have been talking?
Jeremiah.
Okay, then let's be quiet and let him talk. Yeah.
Well, when Jasmine was doing the turkey lurkey, and she was still and Jamie told her to stop. She was going to stop when she wanted to stop, but she was still throwing it until she stopped it.
And it was face down on the seat.
No, it wasn't. It was facing this way, like with the plate. And no, I did not do it. Kept doing it. You were in the house when that happened. You were in the house.
So you were outside throwing
You were
it.
outside by yourself.
Stop.
No.
Excuse me. So you were
They were
outside.
on the porch. Isaiah and
So,
Jeremiah
excuse me.
and Bryce were on the porch.
Excuse me. So you were outside throwing this?
Yes, because
Yes or no?
Jeremiah was like,
Stop.
wow.
Stop. The question was, these are yes or no questions. So you were outside throwing this.
Yes.
Could it have gotten ripped while it was outside?
Probably.
While you were throwing?
Probably.
Probably.
Maybe so.
Maybe so.
It wasn't.
The question again is, could it have possibly gotten ripped while you had it and thrown it outside?
Yes. Probably.
So you have 2 yeses that you could have done this.
Cause,
Stop.
wait, I got one more thing to say.
Answer the question you're being asked. So you have 2 opportunities that you possibly could have ripped this.
Yes.
Yes. And everyone else has none.
No. But I got one more thing to say. Every
Bryce,
time.
excuse me. Bryce, should Jasmine have the opportunity to say her next sentence?
I would wait.
You would wait. Okay, well, we will wait for a moment.
Mommy, can I say something?
You may speak.
Well, when I was outside and I saw Jasmine throwing it, I was like, whoa. And when Jermaine told her to stop, I didn't say and when I said one time, I didn't even say no more. I was just gonna stop saying, but she was throwing it. I stopped saying well, but she was, and Jermaine said stop when I said well one time, and then Jermaine started to say stop when she was throwing it, and I didn't know she was throwing it.
You didn't know?
I didn't.
You had to have known. You saw her throw it.
I didn't know. I didn't know when I didn't see her throwing it.
Can I ask you a question? How did Jasmine get this?
I gave it to her. And
Why?
Well, I didn't give her effect to throw it. I didn't even say throw anything.
Oh, have a seat. You may sit.
Okay.
Bryce, is it her time to speak?
I was going to let her.
You will?
I was going to let her have her turn.
Okay. You may
So,
speak.
I was throwing it, and every time it fell, it was down on the plate way. It wasn't turned over that. It was turned over where you could see Jeremiah's name at the bottom. It was turned on at the.
You had to catch. You also caught this, right? Were you catching this? You just picking it up, throwing it? Or were you catching it at all?
I was trying to catch it.
You were trying to catch it. Could you have ripped it while you were throwing it? Could you have ripped it while you were catching it?
No, now when I saw when I kept picking it up, it wasn't ripped like that. When I picked it up. Because when we were at the bus stop, Jeremiah, I said, Jeremiah, can I see? And then he gave it. And then
why
he
would you
gave
take
it to
his? Why would you take his turkey and throw it?
I was showing him something cool. Since turkeys they had those things.
What things?
And the
What things?
the
is this?
wings,
Stop.
something. Oh,
Those who?
the wings on them. So
So you just thought it was a good idea to take someone else's stuff and just throw it?
he was like, wow, in a good way. So I thought it was cool. And then when Jermaine said stop,
So if someone took your stuff and threw it and they thought it was cool, this would be okay with you?
a little.
A little? What you mean a little? Explain that.
Because, like, if I saw, like, if Jeremiah, like this, because Jeremiah had one of my balls, and because I told him he could play with it, and he was throwing it.
A ball is to be played with, correct?
Yes.
This is his school. This is schoolwork assignment.
But it was an art.
Yes, it's art. Exactly. Do we normally snatch pictures off the wall and throw them around the house?
No.
Do you normally take your homework and throw it up in the air when you're outside? Yes or no?
Only if.
Yes or no?
No.
Do you normally take your school art projects and throw them up in the air?
I did it once.
Once. And how many school? What grade are you in now?
Second grade.
So you had 2 whole years of schooling, and you've only done it once.
It was in first grade, but in first grade I did it more times. In kindergarten, I just did it once.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
The court is deliberating.
I think. Throwing it.
Throwing it may have done it? Throwing it may have done
I think.
it? Okay.
I think
That's
it
well
might
with me. You just a jury. You're not. I'll make the final decision.
I agree.
You agree?
I agree.
You agree? Kinda agree?
Yeah.
Well, by your own admission of guilt, which we will take that as your admission of guilt,
What's guilt?
that you were the guilty party.
That
It's your
is
fault.
correct.
You said kinda. We had 3 people who said yes. We had one that kinda. So we can go ahead and take that as an admission of guilt. Thank you. Jasmine. By the court of Belfield, we found you guilty of the possibility of ripping this.
I didn't just do this.
We understand it may have been an accident, but at the same time, it's still ripped. Correct?
Yes.
So, the court feels that you owe Jeremiah an apology because you should not have been taking his school project and throwing it around.
But
And you should not have been making the assumption that just because it was sitting beside someone else, that it was their fault, which may not have been true. Correct?
yes, but
And because very well you had it last and handed it to Jeremiah, which you could have ripped it then, according to what you said, correct?
it was probably on that accident, or it probably happened when I was 3.
We understand it could have been an accident.